Once upon a time, Australia's rainforests flourished, providing happiness and joy to both the land and the people. Until one day, it all went horribly wrong. One by one, the trees disappeared. This disappearance is known as habitat destruction. Habitat destruction in rainforests relates to severe damage of land occupied by existing ecological communities. This is an issue pertinent to Australia, as 20% of wet tropics and 60% of subtropical rainforests have been cleared since 1860. Rainforests in Australia are estimated to contain over half our plant and animal species. The clearing of rainforests has contributed to the loss of over 100 plant species since European colonisation. A prime example of this is an area of rainforest located in northeast New South Wales called the Big Scrub, which once encompassed more than 60,000 hectares of land prior to European settlement. The Big Scrub is currently at less than 1% of its previous size. Many species were impacted as a result of this mass destruction. One of the affected groups of plants was the macadamia, which is endemic to Australia. They were originally a coveted food and oil source used by the Aborigines and have now become one of the world's most popular nuts. Our combination of rich soil and the right tropical climate made Australia the perfect location for the species to flourish. Unfortunately, like the Big Scrub, macadamias in the wild have been placed under immense pressure, as only 20% of the original habitat remains. The reason for the vast clearing was for cattle grazing during colonisation. Now with such disturbance in their native habitat, room has been made available for introduced species such as cat's claw creeper to compete with the wild macadamia. Another major threat to the species are rats, which feed on the nuts, significantly lowering the number of macadamias which can successfully germinate. Due to a long lifespan of up to 400 years, each macadamia only needs to reproduce once to maintain population size. Unfortunately, in the wild, they produce very few nuts, meaning that the amount taken by rats poses a serious risk to future populations. All 4 of these species are known to be vulnerable to extinction, in particular Macadamia jansenii, which has been additionally listed as endangered, as there are only 60 individuals remaining in a single location in the wild. This is due to extreme habitat destruction.
The first species to split off was Macadamia jansenii, the one we're talking about, because that's the most north, it's isolated. And then subsequently Macadamia ternifolia, which is the marucci nut, the other non-edible nut if you like, and then finally the 2 species, integrifolia, then tetraphylla. There's been a lot of people with a lot of knowledge looking around for quite a few years and they haven't found any more. It's quite possible there's only one population.
The macadamia is an important and iconic part of the Australian economy, being our only internationally recognised commercial food source. Contributing to 30% of global production, Australia is the largest producer of macadamias worldwide. Each year, 70% of Australia's total crop is exported to regions such as Europe, Asia and North America. The entire Australian industry is estimated to be valued at approximately $115 million annually. So why is jansenii important to the macadamia industry?
The reason that you should say Macadamia jansenii is because it has germplasm that's important for the macadamia nut industry. And the selective breeding program that the macadamia nut industry has undertaken, it's only a very young industry, it's about 50 or 60 years old, and it'll take several hundred years to complete the selective breeding program because of the long generational times between macadamias. And therefore, the cheapest and best way to conserve the genetic diversity in macadamia species is to keep them in the wild.
There are many conservation strategies currently being undertaken trying to achieve this, ranging from government-funded groups such as the Macadamia Conservation Trust and volunteer organisations like the Big Scrub Rainforest Landcare Group. Without conservation, the wild macadamia could be extinct within the next 100 years, but we as individuals can help too. By avoiding these critical rainforests and cleaning your shoes before entering national parks to mitigate the spread of diseases, we can help preserve the macadamia for future generations.